Hey there. So,
Hello.
hi. We are here once again, right on time to ruin people's Wednesday lunches. Mid of the week, people are already like, when is this week going to get over? And here we go, spouting gyan on creators, man. So today, what we are going to speak about is, are creator metrics actually changing in 2025? And where are they changing and what they're actually doing? And it's a really interesting sort of a discussion because it impacts both creators and brands. And I just wanted to know, if you saw the Colin and Samir show that I was talking about. I think they've covered some of the points really good. They've spoken with this head of Patreon, who's also apparently runs some two rock bands or something, and it's quite the dude. And he comes across as somebody with a bit of soul in spite of being one this major capitalistic dude. So quite the refreshing gent. I don't know what you think, Janavi. Are creator metrics changing in 2025? Would followers still be as relevant? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely they are changing, and in now I think platforms built their platform on the equity of the influencers, of the
Yeah.
creators, and everything. So I'll,
Hmm.
I'll draw a very stupid parallel over here.
Hmm.
Now, when Star Plus started, it was started just on the equity of Ekta Kapoor. For 10
Yeah.
long years, 10, 12 long years, it was all Ekta Kapoor going on, and people
Hmm.
got hooked on it. Now, after a certain point, after the controversies and everything started happening, and Ekta Kapoor drew out, Star Plus saw a big dip in their followers and everything.
Yeah.
Now, then they went through the whole nonsense and everything. But now that you look at it, Ekta Kapoor is not a part of the landscape anymore. But Star Plus is still thriving with the
Hmm.
same kind of an audience. So I think platforms have taken a similar approach. Obviously, that was not the inspiration, but now they've taken a similar approach where they built their equity on the backs of the equity of the creators. But now that they have realized that creators themselves have a lot of options. If they don't like how Instagram is working, they go to YouTube, or they go to Discord, or they go to Snapchat, or whatever. So rather than giving the entire monopoly or the control of a platform to the creators or the
Hmm.
influencers, the platform want it back. Plus, it makes a lot of business sense also for the platforms to get people watching different kinds of contents, maybe around the themes that they enjoy, but different types of contents, different types of creators, to just avoid that entire monotony tone that had been setting up
Hmm. Hmm.
in the audience since a very long time now. If you see the kind of discussions that was happening, everybody was like, yes, similar kind of content is happening. I need something different. And there was always a big demand for show me what I would like, show me some random stuff, because I am
Yeah.
tired of exploring. Even
Yeah.
Netflix went this route where it started with the switch
Yeah.
that feature, right, where you could just Netflix would give you the recommendation of what to watch.
Yeah.
So then unanimously the platforms have started going in a direction where the KPIs have shifted more in the direction of you spending more time on the platform, you spending more time on the different types of videos.
Hmm.
If you look at it, Instagram has started for the 3 minute videos now. That was
Yeah.
unprecedented before for any
Yes.
channel. So it has more become the session time rather than building a community around a creator and everybody just following the creators. So yes, that leads us into the segue where the number of followers don't really matter that much, because the platforms have started changing the community around a singular person or a brand to creating a community around the themes that a person follows.
Nice, very well put. I think that allows me to express my view, maybe on this thing. I think you've set it up beautifully, both from a business model perspective and the fight between platforms and creators, the maturity and the life cycle stage that you spoke about, and also what I'm understanding is okay. So the metrics are changing from what you're calling themes or thematic. I'm saying it's probably more based towards interest. So it's
Yeah.
it's it's kind of moving from individual creators to interest based themes. And I think this is a large part due to TikTok, because if I look at what TikTok does or has done across the world, and Instagram as well as YouTube have followed suit, is that there is a top layer of discovery that has that is over, let's say the YouTube content or any other content which is slightly longer form, and that top layer of discovery is allowing people to get more views even if they don't have followers.
Yeah.
And because they land on the For You page, and therefore it is the For You page which has the algorithm that is allowing TikTok to be TikTok rather than anything else. And I think YouTube Shorts, with its powerful search capabilities of YouTube, as well as Instagram with whatever Meta is doing for it, is following suit, right? So we are seeing a shift from a follower count to engagement, because the shift is essentially, I'm moving from, oh, I like this creator and the community that it has, to what are my interests. Okay, so I like gardening or I like swimming or whatever, and I get that sort of content. And I agree with you about the bubble, and I think that YouTube is also trying to experiment with a few things, like trying to create what's new and stuff like that, and they're piloting it with people like me. I have no idea why, but they are. And I'm kind of intrigued by, okay, maybe I'll click and find out what's new, because I desperately want to get out of my bubble as well, as do all of us. So clearly it's a problem that platforms are seeing, and while they do want to encourage creators, and obviously support the advertising model, I think views and therefore engagement is getting more important than a follower count. I don't know where that puts communities. I have a couple of thoughts, but I would love to know what you think.
Yeah, I was having a similar dilemma on if you now, since brands and creators have always tried to bring a community into the
Mm.
picture. Now that
Yeah.
the community doesn't exist, right? Now you can take an interest, but even on interest, where do you draw a line? It might be gardening, but there might be gardening tools. It will lead you to the type variety of plants. Might lead you to entire biology segment, all of that. So where does that line of interest or community of an interest really end? There is no end to it, right? Because everything is associated with something at the end of the day. And if
Yeah.
it's rhythm running everything, so
Yeah.
basically machine learning, right? So it's just learning that one thing is associated to another, and then everything
Yes.
becomes a one big community. And
No,
for the creators,
absolutely, absolutely. And I think that community rules will have to change, and probably communities will be way smaller for creators, even if they are way larger, because since their followers are not going to translate into the whole community, and number of followers is going to go lesser. Maybe what we will see is who the new creators are. Their number of followers might be lesser, but that will be the community for them. Is perhaps a thought. And here are couple of thoughts which I wanted to kind of leave with you over here. One is, that means creators and brands both need to change up their game. So if you're a well-established creator with millions of followers and all, okay, you will go ahead and make sure that you are the celebrity in that world. So it would probably succeed. But for a new creator or whatever, the rules change. In fact, do you know that in UK, the tax returns for people, or US, the tax returns for people who call themselves creators, content creators on YouTube, okay, has reduced dramatically. And the reason is because they're not earning that kind of money from what they're doing. And so I suspect that based on the interest based networking, people will stop calling themselves creators. They will call themselves gardeners or swimmers or whatever it is, and we will see that sort of thing, quite. And while it is funny, it is also correct, because people will go to their roots. Like Sanjeev Kapoor is a chef. He is not a content creator, for goddamn. So that is one thing. Now, for brands, I think what is really, really critical is for them to explore micro and nano and sort of those kind of influencers, because they are the ones who still remain gardeners or professors or artists or whatever it may be. And you're like kind of converting that sort of community which they have into something stronger. So you can, and I think, you and I both know we are working on something like this, wherein we are trying to identify trends that brands can go for, and then look at the micro, nano, and those kind of influences. I think TikTok is already helping people, do this to a large extent. So I think brands will certainly look at different kinds of creators, and creators are not going to call themselves creators. Those are my
yeah.
two takes on this.
Yeah. And I think this is a very good shift because
Mm.
in the past decade or so, the generalization had really taken the uptick. But
Mm.
now the subject matter expertise is slowly pulling
Ah,
pulling
yes.
the the highlight. And that
Yeah.
is how it should be, because if you are not a subject matter expert, you are neither helping yourself progress or nor helping the society as a whole progress. And because everybody is a generalist, we were seeing any Tom, Dick, and Harry today becoming a creator if they know how to make a YouTube thumbnail, or if they know how to make the first 3 second as a hook for
Yes.
Instagram or whatever. And once if you take it off, then once if you take off, then you're in for life. Now it will be very competitive for both the content creators and the brands. Now it will become a game of content, pure play,
Yeah. So
because there is.
I have a question for you. I have a question for you. Now, both of us are doing this, and if we stop calling ourselves content creators, Janvi, who the hell are we, George? How do we reposition ourselves? How do we reframe ourselves? What do you? Any thoughts? Any thoughts?
I think for us, we are more of strategists, because
Mm-hmm.
we help brands with their brand strategy or marketing, go to market, whatever. So we are helping them with their strategy, and our content itself is pulled in as a part of our strategy,
How
right?
about calling ourselves storytellers for business? I think that's storytellers for the business world. Maybe that can have, I don't know whether that's a category, but yeah, I like what we where we are getting, and we will all need to recreate ourselves in this new world, and maybe the metrics of 2024 no longer hold true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I think it's a good time for people to go ahead and enjoy eating whatever is left of their lunch, and let them go in peace. And we will connect again on Friday with something new on our plate, isn't it?
Yes. We'll be
Wonderful.
back.
All the very best to everybody who's listening in or later on. Cheers. And don't subscribe or follow us. Just kind of listen to us live. Maybe that'll help. Yeah. Okay. All right.